Well, everybody, we are back again to discuss Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. So Jason died in Part 4. This is the resurrection of Jason, or is it? So I was pretty surprised at how lame this was, considering what was set up in Part 4.
Yeah, me too. Sorry, I'm Paul. You can find me on Monday nights, Tales from the Flipside podcast. We go live about 9:30 if you haven't been following our reviews as we journey through the ups and downs of Jason's life and afterlife.
Yeah. Well, I apologize for not giving you a proper intro.
It's all good. They know.
So this one essentially, Corey Feldman's character from the fourth movie is now in a mental asylum, or almost like a halfway house, right? Like he was in an asylum somewhere, and this is kind of like a home for troubled youth, so to speak.
Yeah, and I mean the beginning scene was all right with him as a kid at the cemetery. And then it went downhill from there. And then there was that surprise axe murder that kind of upticked it. But overall, I think it was not a good one.
Yeah, you would think that you would you kind of had something cool at the end of 4 with him as like a little kid and, shaving his hair, and how's that going to affect him? And they tried to go somewhere with that, but it's just so lame. The character has become extremely boring. He doesn't seem like the same character as the fourth one at all. Like there's no, you don't feel attached to him, even though you would have thought, having watched the fourth one, that you would, right?
And do you think it's because he's such a quiet character in the movie?
Yeah.
He has the masks, and that's about it. That's really the only connection, besides he's supposed to be the same person and is troubled.
Yeah, they play up his like PTSD. Like that's the theme of the movie, is that essentially what happened with Jason, him essentially slaughtering Jason and Jason killing everybody, has caused him to have PTSD. So he's been in a home for a while. He gets sent to this halfway house where there's these other teenage kids there. And he's kind of the weirdest one and the most unlikable one that lives in the house. There's always like the douchebag kid, who's like the loudmouth kind of guy. And then there's women there. Just very strange. It's a very strange movie.
Yeah, and I think you and I talked that we didn't really touch on the death in 4 of Jason, how that was actually pretty well done and gruesome. I liked him slowly sliding down the machete and stuff.
Yeah, his like eyeball or whatever, that machete slides through his face. Yeah. So they set that up. Now, they tried to do something neat in here. Spoilers. Essentially, the bad guy is not Jason. It's a guy who is using Jason as cover, because at some point in this movie, one of the kids at this halfway house is like, he's chopping wood, and there's this kind of like semi-mentally handicapped seeming kid who's also there, and he's like talking to the girls. He gets chocolate all over their white sheets.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah, he's trying to offer
6 chocolate bars stuck in
right, and then he goes to
this guy.
He goes to this guy who's chopping wood, and he's trying to give him this chocolate bar, and the guy snaps and kills him, just axe murders him in the backyard, which was pretty nice. I enjoyed that. That was kind of out of left field, right? Yeah. Right. So the ambulance people come, they take the body away, whatever. That's kind of the first big kill of the movie. Now, you mentioned the opening. The opening's a dream sequence, and it's the only Corey Feldman scene that we get. So, I mean, how do you think people reacted that were Jason fans when they went and saw this? Do you imagine that this was just, people were just pissed? I mean,
it got me, I fell for it a little bit. I knew that there was a movie that didn't have Jason in it, and I putting the pieces together, I was like, maybe this is the one. But he got me with his fake makeup and things that I was like, maybe it really is him. But he was missing some of the cracks in his mask and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, how the heck did he? There was no actual resurrection scene of him, because he was done. He was officially killed in number 4.
Right. And they did throw like the mask has blue marks on it instead of red. It's a different mask.
Right.
But yeah, he's got this like really, it's like a sweet Halloween costume if you could ever get one. I mean, it's like he's got like only his face is exposed, but it's behind the mask. It looks pretty neat. As far as cheesy shit in this, we have the hillbilly neighbors who don't like the fact that these kids, these troubled youth, live on this place, and they are just like horribly stereotypical. Like anyone from the Midwest or somebody watching this or the down south or wherever where the middle part of the country or the flyover country would just watch this and be like, oh my god.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and they stereotyped some other characters. So it was a full 1985.
It went for about it. It's quite offensive. Yeah, you've got like the hillbilly redneck people that cuss every 2 seconds. Like it's a mother and her son, I believe, and her son's like a big dope. And she's like, fucking eat your stew, and there's all that stuff. And then there is this must have come out right after Michael Jackson's Bad music video, because there's a little black kid that lives at the camp. And one of the first parts of the movie is the police come for some reason and the sirens go off and the little black kid goes, "Oh, that's the cops. I got a foot." And he runs and you're like, whoa, what the hell is happening? Now he was just going outside to like see what was up, I think. But yeah, there was that. And then he meets his brother, who's like kind of a bad boy, who's in, honest to God, it looks like the Michael Jackson Bad outfit with the hair. That leads us to our shitting scene of the movie.
My gosh. Yep. Here's another one.
Yeah. So yeah, he goes to take a shit and, nobody wipes in this universe, apparently.
Nobody wipes.
Now, is that 3 unwiped assholes so far in the series? Yeah,
I mean, I'm not keeping a wipe journal, but I would agree.
I think it is, because I think there's 2 in part 3.
Yeah.
Now, couple neat kills, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, when he's in the bathroom, the whole I don't know if it's a crowbar or rebar or whatever it was coming through at different angles. He's trying to avoid it. That was kind of a cool one. Gosh, I'm trying to remember the other ones.
Well, there was one where you thought that he was going to behead the girl, but he really fucking cut her head. Like he hit her in the face with it.
With the hedge clippers. I thought he went here and then just cut her head off, but he went right in her eyes instead.
Right. This one does have a couple moments of TNA, so that gives it a little boost. I mean, I'm just looking at some kills here. We've got a lot of impalings. We've got, hang on a second. This one this is 18 kills in this. Plus,
we have to keep
bad
up.
Guy.
We got to keep up with our count.
Right. So you've got face struck with a cleaver twice, back impaled with a machete, stomach stabbed with a machete, throat slashed with a machete. So lots of machete kills, cleaver kills. There's a great beheading.
Oh, that was the most satisfying of the whole movie. Oh.
Yeah, because the white trash family, they're having a fight, and the bad guy, Jason, slices off the guy's head. Now, do you have any issue with the fact that this isn't Jason? So why the hell is this guy like so powerful and monstrous and sick?
Yeah. For who he really is, I think that was a total just a movie thing, movie magic, that he was so strong.
Yeah,
and silent too.
Right.
Like no grunts when you're chopping someone's head off, or when you're getting hit or stabbed himself. There was really maybe one groan, and that was about it.
Right.
But yeah, he was channeling his best inner Jason.
It didn't really work, the whole idea. Like okay, so I mean, again, spoilers. This guy Roy Burns is the killer, and essentially he is the father of the chocolate bar kid.
Who doesn't
So,
have a father, according to the camp leader. Like,
right.
we don't know what happened to his father.
Yeah. So he's out for revenge, but he's like indiscriminately killing everyone.
Yeah,
I think it was a revenge thing, wasn't it?
yeah, he must have just been mad at the world because he never made amends and came out and said, hey, this is my son, and then his son is taken away from him, so he's just mad at everybody for his own mistakes.
Right. And they kind of, looking back, I should have caught who it was sooner, because they have a sting when he comes to pick up the body. Like they put the camera on him and there's like a musical,
Right.
And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, oh, why didn't I catch that and just know that was him instantly? But I guess you're still thinking it's Jason because it's a Jason movie.
Excuse me. Yeah, and I thought it was just he was a rookie guy because the other ambulance guy or whatever kind of gives him a hard time.
I suppose that's true. Yeah, because you think he's kind of green, but really he's just upset because it's his kid.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you liked about this one?
That beheading of the kid on the motorcycle was it. The hillbilly kid is riding around after he got beat up by
Tommy Jarvis.
Tommy. So he got beat up by Tommy, and then he rode home. He's just riding in circles, screaming, "Oh, mom, they hurt me! Mommy, they hurt me!" And she's trying to
way
make the
too long,
way too long,
yeah.
driving you nuts. And then he gets beheaded, and it's blissful silence. That was the best kill for me because it was just like, finally, silence.
Yeah, and the mother should have known instantly he was dead, because it seems to me that there was never going to be a time when someone in that family is not shouting.
Yeah, unless they're sleeping, they're talking or screaming.
Yeah. I want to give them credit for trying something different. Like, I like the idea that Jason isn't the killer and we can set up kind of a twist, but it's just so bad and boring. Like the whole way through, there's nothing interesting happening. They don't do anything interesting. Like, there's nothing outside of that sting I talked about where you could have figured out who the killer is. You know what I mean? And I guess the first one kind of had that too. Like, it would have been hard to guess it was Jason's mother, but
right. I mean, his death in this movie was okay. Him falling on the but during that scene, I was like, man, I guess barns are really Jason's weakness. I thought they were going to hang him again.
Yes. That was pretty good, though. He falls on his mask. Does it get knocked off as he's getting knocked off the barn, or does it fall off? Because he's laying dead on like those spikes.
Yeah.
And his mask is off, and you see the spot where his face is.
I think it just fell off afterward. There was no slow motion. That's what I thought they're going to do. It's slow motion of it coming off, and then Tommy realizing it's not really Jason. But they didn't. They just did it after he had landed.
Did Tommy fully believe that it was Jason the whole time? Like, what was, because you don't have any moments where there's like conversations with Tommy about what's going on in his head. I feel like maybe he has like PTSD visions or something, but
yeah, he does in a few scenes where Jason's there and then disappears. But I think that until Tommy gets cut in that barn, he thinks that it's a figment of his imagination. That's what I think.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that works. Now, I say, did people hate this? So this movie was made on a $2.2 million budget, and it made $22 million. So these things just cleaned up at the box office. Honestly, you can see why they made so many of them. But yeah, I want to say, I think I like this better than 3 if I were to tally them so far, just because this one has something interesting going. I mean, I guess the idea is interesting, whereas 3 is just complete schlock randomness.
Yeah, I can get on board with that, where they tried something new. And at the end, though, leaves what mystery open for number 6. Where at the end, Tommy is the killer's dead. They're in the hospital. And then at the very, very end, so Tommy sees Jason in front of him, and then he disappears because he's like, so you think he's over his fear of Jason, finally. Right. But then it's a dream sequence. He kills this girl, but then he wakes up, has the vision of Jason. Jason disappears. But then at the very end, he breaks the window. The girl comes in. It was the camp counselor or somebody, right? And,
yeah, she was very nice to him throughout the movie.
The therapy, the second in command. Anywho, and then he's hiding behind the door with a knife, and then he comes at her, and that's the end of the movie.
Right. Yeah, like, that's interesting. So we know the next movie is named Jason Lives. So, assuming Jason's back, and not to spoil it, but we've already both watched 6. Assuming Jason's back, you got to wonder, was their plan to move forward with like Tommy Jarvis as the new bad guy? Yeah. And this movie was just shit on by everybody that saw it. And they all wanted Jason back because part 6, and we'll get into it, next week's show, but part 6 is very, okay, you want Jason, we give you Jason. You know what I mean?
Yeah. With pretending I haven't seen 6, where they could have gone with this, or maybe they're trying to go with this is, we've officially killed Jason. We'll try and keep some reality to it. So now Tommy is going to succumb to his psychosis. Oh, I meant to carry on Jason's murder spree. So now I'm going to become Jason. And this was my first kill. Like, he didn't disappear and I got over him. He disappeared and I became him.
Yeah. And done correctly, that kind of could be interesting, but yeah, I think it would depend on you caring about him in this movie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
His acting wasn't that great either.
No, he sucks. He stunk. He just stunk. The character stunk. And it sucks because I think we said on the last review, part 4 finally got you to kind of give a shit about that character specifically, So for them to carry it on and just with such a limp movie, I mean, it's bad. People probably like this one. I'm sure there's like the cult following this one has because it's different, but I wasn't very impressed.
Yeah. I mean, I would skip it. I would say number 3, just say he gets his mask. Number 4 is good. Watch it. Number 5 has some TNA if you want to just hang out, and then we'll go from there. But otherwise, I would say you could skip number 3 and number 5.
There's a specific set of boobs in this that are, they are full breasts that you see. And that scene's actually pretty fun. Some of the kills are pretty fun, I guess. But yeah, it's offensive. And I'm like the kind of guy who I just laugh at that shit anyway, so it doesn't bother me. But I feel like if this was released today, it would just get mauled by people.
Yeah, that's kind of some of the interesting and fun parts of watching older movies is like, man, they could definitely not do that today.
Right. Well, it's funny that it does that too, but it also is trying to take itself way too seriously. Like, it's not fun, It's not fun at all. And 4 had like moments of tongue in cheek and also was serious, but this one is just, it's a downer to watch.
There's no, thinking back on it, I didn't see any therapy happening at this therapy camp. There was the kids just doing laundry and chopping wood. There was no group sessions or chances where where Tommy could say, yeah, this is, what happened to me, or not say anything, or they're just going about their business.
Oh God. If we do the Freddy movies, Paul, it's funny. No, honestly, part 3 takes place in a mental institution, and it's the best sequel that there is, because that's what they do. They talk about their experience dealing with this thing. Nobody believes them. And it's that. And you're right. Why isn't that happening in this movie? Like,
yeah,
it's a perfect opportunity for you to get to know the characters, Now the score, same guy, Harry Medfordini did the score, so it's the same type of score. It's pretty good. But yeah, there is a fun. There's another dance scene in this one, with a girl who's in the dorm, and that is probably my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, these movies are teaching me how to boogie.
Yeah, they really had their boogie down in these. Between Crispin Glover and the last one, and this girl in this one, the one who's kind of got like she's like the goth / emo type character. But yeah, this is an absolute disaster overall. I'll give it like a D.
Yeah, I'll just D minus. It didn't. The TNA, I guess maybe a D, but.
Yeah, it stunk. It really stunk. It was disappointing too, because you're like kind of excited to see where they're going to go after 4. And it stunk. But yeah, anything else, Paul, before we kind of wrap this one up here?
I think that's it.
We covered his death. Oh, how many kills do we have here? We talked about it. Yeah, so there's a guy hacked apart by Victor Faden. So the first kill is the wood chopper guy. I guess are we doing Jason kills or are we doing series kills? Period.
So because I don't know, we have to start a new column then because there's 0 Jason kills in this movie. This
would be a 0. Now they do give credit to Tommy Jarvis for the kill of Roy Burns. So yeah, there's 19 total deaths in this movie. So this is our most death movie. So maybe it gets a point for that. I don't know.
According to that list you're looking at, does the woman die at the end? Did they credit Tommy with her death?
They don't put anything there. Nothing. So yeah. So that's they don't put anything there. So we didn't see that death, right? It was just implied.
Yeah, they just zoomed in on his eye as the last thing that I remember.
Yeah, well, I guess they erased that real quick, that whole idea. But yeah, Paul, again, where can we find you?
Yep, the Tales from the Flipside YouTube channel. We go live on Monday nights about 9:30 for the Tales from the Flipside show. But we have a bunch of other stuff if you want to check out our playlists. Vintage Voyage for older comics, Global Comic Safari for foreign stuff, and all sorts of things on there. So check it out while you're stuck at home anyway.
Sweet. And yeah, I'm Jackson with Bored and Annoyed. Go to boredandanoid.com. Obviously hit the subscribe button and comment, like our show. Thank you for tuning in, and come back next week for Jason Lives.